Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all of you. Respected Chairman, Dr. Dominic, let me first heartily thank the International Hospital of Bahrain, its President, Dr. Faisal Zira, the Chairman Organizing Committee, Dr. Deepak Khosla, for holding the conference and the invitation and give us a chance to see their excellent hospital, the beautiful country and the wonderful people. I shall be sharing my experiences of ROP management in Omani population at Muscat and the outcome of laser therapy in the babies considered for the treatment at Al Nada Hospital, the Tertiary Care Eye Center, Ministry of Health, Oman. A total of 205 premature babies who are taken for study is screened at SCOPO of 2 tertiary care centers in Muscat over a period of 5 years since October 2000. Now, before proceeding further, let me brief about Oman. For those people who have not visited it, it is one of the 6 GCC states at the border of Dubai, a place having a unique combination of beaches with deserts, and capital being one of the modern city with a population of around 2.5 million. Let me share some of the glimpses of Oman, which I have collected over a period of time: the Grand Mosque, the city, the sea life, the Turtle Beach, the sand meshing, and the traditional Omani life and the forts. Now, coming to the subject matter, the severity of ROP was classified based on the currently and widely accepted international classification of ROP based on location, extent, stages, and presence or absence of breast disease. The ROP screening is conducted at the SCOPO of 2 tertiary care centers in Muscat, the Royal Hospital and the Khola Hospital. Now, criteria for screening of ROP: all infants born at or before 32 weeks of gestational age, or infants born with a birth weight of less than 1500 grams, or selected infants between 1500 to 2000 grams with an unstable clinical course considered to be at high risk by the neonatologist were included for the screening. Now, timing of examination: the infants born before 30 weeks of gestational age, the first checkup was done at 7th week, while the infants born at 32 weeks, the first checkup was done at 5th week of the postnatal age. And the follow-up schedule in the ROP stage 0 to 1, we did a follow-up every 2 to 3 weeks. In ROP stage 2, follow-up every 1 to 2 weeks. In ROP stage 3, follow-up every week, in selected cases twice a week, until the ROP regress is present and the normal retinal vasculature extended up to the ora serrata or within 1 disc diameter from the ora serrata. Thereafter, the babies are followed by the pediatric ophthalmologist. The examination is done by a veterinary specialist every week at school, and the pupils were dilated with 0.5% tropicamide and 2.5% phenylephrine. Even nowadays, we are using 1% tropicamide and find it quite safe. In retinal examination, we are using the steroid-related speculum and steroid depressor. I find the wire speculum less traumatic to the conjunctiva and thus prevails in all the infants. The spring speculum, which we were using earlier, was resulting in more trauma, especially subconjunctival hemorrhages and lipedema, compared to the wire speculum. This was used only in the grown-up babies because that would better for the lips. One important thing which I found practically, that while using the steroid depressor, it has been observed that some retinal areas were skipped in examination while using the T end, that is the other side, while no area was missed using the other end. This part was specially taken care of while doing the laser treatment. Once you observe it, you will not find any skipped areas on your follow-up examination. The retina is examined using a binocular and direct optimus using 20 diopter and 30 diopter lens. Personally, I find 30 diopter lens better in routine ROP screening, as the examination is quick, convenient, due to its wider visual field and easy even in difficult situations like hazy media and dilated pupil using small or medium light aperture. Whereas I supplement 20 diopter lens in cases having ROP for anterior segment evaluation, identify pus disease and detailed retinal examination, as sometimes only ERFP and other details were missed by 30 diopter lens. In laser treatment, I use 30 diopter lens and find it better than 20 diopter lens due to its wider visual field, consuming less time in treatment and covering most of the areas with laser spots without requiring scleral depression. Now this picture is taken in Suba of Kola Hospital. The baby is outside the incubator wrapped in a towel with hands inside. This picture is also taken in the Suba of Kola Hospital. In this case, the baby is inside the incubator. In high dependency cases, the examination through the incubator's plastic, through the incubator without pulling the baby out and examining through the plastic walls is quite comfortable and easy. Sometimes you come across the difficult situation as in this conjoined twins. The examination is difficult in such babies due to their position. Both the babies had ROP stage 2 zone 2, but it regressed on follow-up examination. They were later surgically separated at Saudi Arabia hospital. The media also covered it in our newspapers. Treatment schedule. All the infants with ROP stage 3 threshold disease were considered for treatment within 1 to 3 days under the topical anesthesia with oral or IV sedation or general anesthesia at Al-Nada Hospital OT under the care and advice of anesthetist with neonatologist monitoring. Most of the time, the babies were treated under topical anesthesia with oral fluorohydride sedation, and I find this honey soap nipple in the mouth of the baby very comfortable, and the baby just continues and cooperates throughout the procedure. It was labeled as threshold disease when extraretinal neoaspiration extends 5 contiguous clog arcs or 8 non-contiguous clog arcs associated with Cus disease in zone 1 and 2. Whereas the pre-threshold ROP was defined as ROP in zone 1 of any stage less than the threshold, ROP stage 2 zone 2 plus, ROP stage 3 zone 2 without plus, and ROP stage 3 zone 2 plus with ERFP fewer than the threshold disease. In this, we were more careful with the examination. But later on, we start following the ETRF study for early treatment of ROP, which is sponsored by the study by the National Institute of Eye, which has changed the timing of ROP treatment. And now we are considering the type 1 ROP for treatment, any stage ROP zone 1 with Cus disease, or zone 3 ROP zone 1 without Cus disease, or stage 2 or 3 ROP zone 2 with Cus disease. Whereas the wait and watch approach is taken care of in stage 1 in type 2 ROP, that is the stage 1 or 2 ROP zone 1 without Cus disease, and stage 3 ROP zone 2 without Cus disease. These cases we are considering for treatment only when they progress to type 1 or threshold ROP. I always believe that it is better to err on the side of earlier and heavier treatment than to have a blind child and sleepless nights till their recovery. The treatment with argon laser, because that was what we have available with our resources, using a binocular indirect ophthalmoscope delivery system was done in single sitting with tight scatter pattern directed to the peripheral avascular retina, avoiding the range within 24 to 72 hours of decision for treatment. The average number of laser spots varied from 1200 to 1600 burns in each eye in this series. We don't have the red lamp. This is the fundus picture of one of the baby who came later on follow-up examination on the normal fundus camera. You can well appreciate the normal posterior pole. The vision was 6/6 on follow-up, and you can well appreciate the confident burns in the periphery. This is not a very good picture because the child was not cooperative. Again, the posterior pole was normal, and you can appreciate the peripheral burns, regressed ROP with normal vision, no myopia in both the babies. Now the results, the total number of infants screened were 2 and 5. The distribution of infants according to gestational age, the distribution was nearly equal in less than 30 weeks and 30 to 32 weeks. In the distribution of infants according to the birth weight, in less than 30 weeks, the distribution was nearly equal. Whereas in 30 to 32 weeks, the maximum babies were between the weight of 1000 to 1500 gram weight. Now results, no ROP was seen in 65% of the cases. The cases which progressed to stage 1 accounted to 2.92%. The cases which progressed to stage 2 and stage 3 pre-threshold accounted to 21%, and the cases which reached to stage 3 threshold under treatment accounted for 9.75%. Now ROP distribution according to birth weight and gestational age, the most of the babies were with less than 30 weeks and less than 1000 gram weight. The other risk factor included the oxygen used in all the infants, other in the order of their prevalence, included respiratory distress syndrome, neonatal sepsis, intrauterine growth retardation, twin infants, blood transfusion, cardiac disease, RH incompatibility, and intraventricular hemorrhage. treatment and follow-up, the total cases with ROP were in 70 infants, that is 35%. ROP regressed in 50 infants, that is 71%. LIU was done in 20 infants, that is 28.57%. 3 cases were lost for follow-up, 1 expired, and 2 left the country, but they were reported to be doing well later on. To summarize, the overall incidence of ROP has been 34% in this series. The ROP regressed spontaneously in 71% of stage 1, 2, and 3 ROP, and the laser treatment was done in 28.57% of babies with ROP, that is the 9.75% of total screened premature babies. The average number of laser spots varied from 1200 to 1650 burns each eye. Most of the times, the babies were treated under oral fluorohydrate sedation. ROP regressed in 3 weeks' time in all the cases, and none required repeat laser treatment in this series. No complications on follow-up examination. That is the treatment-related complications, and there have been no default rate over there. The maximum incidence seen in infants born before 30 weeks of gestation and being less than 1,000 tons weight, and the most common risk factor includes the oxygen supplementation, respiratory distress syndrome, and neonatal sepsis. To conclude, all the treated patients showed regression in 3 weeks' time without any complications on follow-up examination, indicating the laser treatment with binacloridine ophthalmoscope delivery system and effective modality of treatment for threshold OP much safer than cryovac treatment, which will hopefully prevent the long-term complications and sequelae if these premature babies are screened and treated in time. Just to give a brief scenario in Muscat, the total number of beds in units is 51. Number of ROP patients screened 85 to 90 per year. Number of ROP patients lasered are around 8 to 9 per year, plus babies referred from other regional hospitals, and we don't have a RACM facility. Till now, more than 600 premature babies have been screened, and nearly 120 eyes have been treated. In this, we are still compiling up, but just to remember, only 6 babies have undergone retinal detachment in spite of the treatment, and these babies which have undergone retinal detachment were referred from elsewhere, and they were having threshold, severe threshold ROP more than the 8 contiguous club bars, with minimum of the vitreous haze also. These cases were surgically managed by our friend Dr. Pramod Binde at Shankar Nethralaya, which is also a treatment abroad center for our Ministry of Health. In my opinion, these are the cases which we may consider for anti-VEGF injection in addition to the laser treatment. In this context, I would also like to mention that it was my pleasure to participate in first World ROP Conference, 14 to 16 September 2006, held at Vilnius, the capital of Lithuania, a Baltic state organized by the Johns Hopkins University, and 52 countries participated with 200 papers. Just to share the ROP incidence which was presented from other countries during this conference, in Iran, the Tehran University of Eye Research Center, ROP incidence was 30%, out of which 23% progressed to treatment stage. In Mexico Hospital General Tertiary Care Hospital, the ROP incidence was 57%, out of which 26% progressed to treatment stage. In Turkey, Gulten Military Academy Ankara, the ROP incidence was 37% and 16% progressed to treatment stage. In Indonesia, the University of Indonesia, the ROP incidence was 30% and 10% treated but with unsatisfactory outcome. In Bangalore, India, the Indira Gandhi Institute of Childhood and Bhutan International Institute of Ophthalmology, the ROP incidence was 21% and 57% progress to treatment stage, with laser treatment success rate of 80%. In Brazil, the Institute Fernandes Viveria, the incidence of ROP requiring treatment varied from 3.7 to 12% at 6 government neonatal units. In Italy, University of Verona, the ROP incidence was 39%, out of which 19% progress to treatment stage. In the Russia Municipal Children's Hospital, St. Petersburg, the ROP incidence was quite high, 63%, out of which 30% progress to treatment stage, and favorable outcome was in 78%. In lastly, the China, the Peking University People Hospital Beijing, the ROP incidence was quite low, maybe very good neonatal care of just incidence of 10.8%, and 3.6% of total babies were treated. May Allah bless us to combat the child blindness due to ROP. My sincere thanks to Dr. Abdul Latif, the head of Oman Ophthalmic Services, for his full support in the program. And my wife joins me in thanking you all very much. Thank you.